bill with amendments. I want to remind this House that besides giving life to Article 43, Kenya is a signatory to many statutes. This includes the UN Habitat Assembly, which is a 193-member states. And besides that, Mr. Speaker, this bill gives life to the Sustainable Development Goal number 11, which over time has consistently ensured that all nations comply with high quality housing and standards of hygiene. Closer home, Mr. Speaker, allow me to give a historical perspective of where we've come from. I remember in the year 1995, as a student of architecture, during the World Habitat Day, the member for Bureti, who then was Minister for Public Works, called Kenyans and set in motion a new agenda to urbanize and develop our slums. And at that time, he came up with a mantra that we must get out of the slums. That was the late Professor Jonathan Ngeno. It has taken us 30 years, Mr. Speaker, to get where we are. We must remember that we are now 4 presidents after. And I stand here to support this because I know that this bill, if well enacted, will give economic stimulus to our country. Mr. Speaker, when you look at the national government CDF allocation to all constituencies, we stand at a mere 43 billion shillings. Today, as we stand here, the housing levy has already collected about 63 billion shillings. A simple arithmetic will tell you that in the next 2 years, every constituency will obviously get more than double the allocation of the national government CDF. How else do we expect to stimulate the local economies if we don't put emphasis on the collection of levy and spending this in the constituencies? Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I was privileged to visit more than 10 counties, and the issues that the public raised were mainly to do with the fairness of allocation of houses, the procurement of such houses, and the concern on how the 10% deposit would be raised. Madam Speaker, we have recommended that instead of having the 10%, we would look for an option of renting to own the houses. On the issue of public land being used, the National Land Commission confirmed to us that in compliance with the Land Act, Section 14 and 15 would be employed to convert public land into private land. Madam Speaker, other concerns on the quality and access of the houses are covered by various laws in this country, and I want to state here that there are not less than 10 laws that cover the construction sector. Finally, Madam Speaker, I would urge this House to urgently approve the building code, which has been in abeyance for the last 10 years, so that it can address other gaps that arise in the bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next chance will go to the member for Kirinyaga, Honorable Njeri.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the housing bill, Honorable Speaker. In Kirinyaga County, Honorable Speaker, I have had and done personal visits to various sites where affordable houses are being constructed, Honorable Speaker. I have visited Gishugu constituency, Kirinyaga Center, where I found more than 300 young people, Honorable Speaker, young people who were jobless before the affordable housing program started, Honorable Speaker.